Hello from Playa del Carmen in Mexico. I hope you can hear me. Today's live is about accepting your fate or your kismet or your destiny as a twin flame. Now, what does that mean? I mean, this connection is always going to be there. And no matter how much you run or you chase, it's there. I'm going to give you a story about Radha and Krishna. I'm also going to tell you about how I came to this realization, and then we'll take some questions. So, hello everyone. So, first of all, how did I come to this realization? I used to think, in the beginning, obviously in the bubble phase, good morning from India. It's evening here in Mexico. It's like 8:30 p.m. Okay. So I used to think in the bubble phase, all romance and love. And then all that was destroyed, right? From the twin flame and the triggers and all the stuff and the rejection. So I was still in that place of love, 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 love until I'd say October this year. There were times in between that where I was like, I wish my twin dead, or I hate him, or that he suffers, or all the things he's done to me and all this and that, which actually is what I've done to myself, because we're not, it's my soul, and we're also not in a committed relationship, so he's free to do what he wants, but it's the way I internalized it, trying to control from a toxic place. He's free to do as he pleases, right? But anyway, after ayahuasca, if you remember, I was saying that I cannot forgive him, and I'm finding it difficult and challenging, and I was very triggered, and that basically I wanted him, to suffer, again, die at times, or I would drink poison if he contacts me. And there was all these thoughts that, when he returns, I'm going to, reject him, or call him out on all his issues and call him a, asshole or whatever else. Or I was going to get into a relationship, or I was going to pretend I was in a relationship. Say, I've got someone now, and then block. You blocked me, I'll block you. Again, it all comes from the ego. All comes from this place of insecurity and ego and blame. And what's that going to achieve? And if you remember correctly, I was smoking Apache tobacco, I was dating others, still am at times, and meeting a lot of high-level soulmates. I met another one, actually, in Merida. Amazing connection. The twin is always there in the background, which is fine. And you don't need to choose union. You can if you want. But your soul's already decided it. So it's not in your control anyway. Your ego can think that it's going to do this or that, but you just have to really surrender. Now, a deeper form of surrender is acceptance. So accepting your fate, your destiny, your kismet. What will be, right? Without the struggle or the pushing back, without the rejection, without the, I don't want this, why would I choose this, the anger, the pain. Eventually, you will tire yourself out. Eventually, you will exhaust yourself out. So will they. And you will just accept. I think acceptance is a deeper form of... someone asked a question. What do questions at the end? Acceptance is a deeper form of surrender. Completely. I'd like the questions to be on this topic rather than, what's my twin flame doing, and blah, blah, blah. Just no, thank you. Let them do what they're doing. That's how they're going to learn. By me meeting high-level soulmates recently, I have learned a lot. I've learned that no matter what someone says from their ego or trauma, it's not the truth. It's the love, and that's how you forgive them. I mentioned that last week. I learned that from The Witcher, and that's how you can use that for your twin flame. They will say all the things to trigger you and their own madness, but it's the love that's there. It's always there. And with the last person I was with in Merida for a week, it was basically beautiful, innocent, pure person, really beautiful. And I learned that despite what they say, stay in a place of bliss and peace and love. Because this person was insecure, and our light can make people insecure and stuff, and it's fine. And obviously the twin flame is insecure as well at times, and we are too. But the key is not to get rattled. I've always mentioned about being 0 point, grounded, in peace, in the present. So it is the whole thing about, no matter what they say, they will try to poke you, to see whether you will sway they may post something or do something or say something. And I've had a few divine feminines reach out to me in the last few days who have been very triggered. But it's just all nonsense from the ego, from the mind, and the trauma that this person is doing. And you are doing the same by reacting. Stay blissful and peaceful. Don't react. And see the truth beyond all that, the love or the divinity. Not the... I don't know if this is easy to say, but I've come to this place, and I'm quite a vindictive bitch at times, okay? Because I'm a Scorpio, okay? And I can come across all very nice and peaceful, but I can be a cow. I can be really nasty. Less so these days, more so in the past, especially with exes and stuff, but less so these days. But with the twin, I was really prepared to be a bitch. And if I can get to that place where I'm like, accept, allow, surrender, stay in bliss, which is much nicer, see the divinity and don't react to the trauma and the ego, I'm sure you can do the same. And you know, like I had said before, my twin flame was very toxic, okay? So when I first came to this realization, it was a little bit saddening. I was like, I am resigning to this fate. I am accepting this fate. It's almost like an arranged marriage from God, because it's fated, right? And it feels like it's not your choice. From a 3D ego level, it seems like, why would I choose this person, and I don't want this person, and I don't want this journey, and it's too hard, and I want to just be with a soulmate, which you can if you want. I don't want to be in this scenario. However, your soul has chosen this union and meeting and journey, and obviously God or the universe has created you as a yin and a yang pair. So from that upper level, there is the definite choice. And if you remember a few videos ago, I posted a video about the Matrix where Neo goes to the Oracle and she gives him a sweet. And she already has a choice, you know, and he's like, why are you asking me whether you already know that I've made the choice, you know, to have this sweet? And she said, you haven't come to me to understand what you're going to do, but it's more like why you made that choice. Not that whether you're going to have the sweet or not. So whether you're going to have union or not, that's decided by the soul. The question is not to figure out whether that will happen. The question is to figure out why. And the why is for your own salvation and enlightenment. So acceptance and resignation felt a little bit sad to me. Like, you know, I'm accepting an arranged marriage, for instance, it sounds a bit like that, or I'm accepting this fate, or, you know, and when people say I accept this or I resign to this, they're not very joyful, right? It's not like, oh my God, it's like, okay, this shit happened, I'm going to accept it. Or just go along with it. And it is kind of a little bit sad in that perspective, but twin flame journey is not really a sad journey. You can make it to be a sad journey, but think about all the positives that come from it. You ascend, you develop. Like, I literally get royal treatment everywhere. I get dropped off, picked up, people take care of me, watch me, everything. Like, it's so nice and easy. People always say I got good energy and all this. And after all the things we've gone through, we've got to that level. Some of you are still suffering, focusing the energy on the twin, and then they are still doing their ego madness, which they will continue until you've got to the place where you're meant to get to. They trigger you, and then the world triggers them. That's how it works. And I prefer it that way, because if I was triggering them specifically, we do obviously, but not like specifically, then I would have to face the pain of what I've done, which they face and they feel. So yeah, acceptance and resignation can seem like a negative thing. I'm accepting my fate, whatever's this hellhole and the things I'm going through. But it's a place of kind of not resisting and not pushing against, not fighting the fate and the destiny, which will always be there. It's like having a long lost child. They're always going to be there. The twin is always going to be there. Just accept them within and without. Accept them for where they are at the moment. They are struggling, like a sibling. And stop making too much of it. If you want to date, date. If you want to be celibate. But stop blaming and expecting things from them right now. And they are free to do as they please. They are single. And if you are triggered by that, that's something you have to deal with. And if you are doing whatever you want and they are triggered by that, that's their issue. Okay? Until they are in a committed situation with you, they are free to do as they wish. Yes, you can say there's repercussions of what they do, but they face that themselves, and you are not their judge or jailier. This is your other half of your soul. This is you in another body. Hating yourself, rejecting and resenting yourself is not self-love. Just to learn to accept it, and that it's the right arm and the left arm. And the left arm is struggling and going through a lot of stuff. You're going to hate it, you're going to reject it, or you're going to accept it. It's there. So it's no longer just a negative thing about, oh, I'm going to accept this arranged marriage or whatever. It's like, it's okay, I'm at peace. I'm at peace with what is. I'm at peace with what comes in. The high-level soulmates come in, they go out. It's like waves, okay? And some of them don't stay for long. And through them, you can learn a lot as well about your twin and forgiving them. And they learn a lot through their karmics or soulmates too. And it's necessary because they cannot learn it with you. They cannot learn it with you, and they will learn from these things by seeing the depravity and the difficulties of life. They will learn, and they will understand what they want and what they don't want. But by you bringing them to account, it triggers them, and they will run again. By you saying things to them and pulling them up on their issues, it's not going to be useful because they have that rejection from that. And then so they will block again or run away again. Just smile. Like I said with the Mexican guy, no matter what he said, I just stayed in bliss and I smiled. With the witcher from Brazil, no matter what he was saying, I knew the truth. So I saw the divinity and I just smiled. And just stay in that place of love and peace. A divine feminine doesn't need anything from outside because she is self-fulfilled, right? Everything is within, and you are in a place of bliss and surrender. You know, soulmate comes in, soulmate goes out. Twin flame comes in, twin flame goes out. You're not grasping, holding on. You let it flow because you are fulfilled already. And that's when the twin will come and just stick with you because they realize you're not going to scold them, reject them, be toxic, and they can be themselves, and you forgive them because they're like a naughty child learning their own way. They have to learn through the 3D by scrapes and scratches. You learn through their triggers. So accepting the fate is to not reject the truth that this is your soul. Accept it. And at the moment, it's not as evolved, but it will get there. Just like a mother. And there's no need to hate it. Because if you start when they return, rejecting them, blocking them, abandoning them, playing those games, the cycle will continue. That shows your ego still. It shows how you are still in pain. And I went through it, so you got to go through it, okay? So the last couple of lives in the last months since ayahuasca, I was angry, I was pissed off. I put all the dirty laundry out on the lives, right? You saw it. It had to come out. And now it's empty. It's done. I no longer have anger or resentment or pain or fear or control or jealousy. It is what it is. And it's okay. So when my twin does return, rather than getting nasty or putting him to account, you did this to me, and blah, blah, blah. He did it to himself, okay? Sabotage himself, his own happiness. And rather than me blocking or rejecting or saying I'm with someone else or trying to be with someone else or lying about stuff, I'm just going to say, okay. I'm not going to get very excited either. I'm not going to be jumping for joy and clapping and fireworks. Maybe that would have been the case in the bubble phase 2 years ago. But I'm also not going to be nasty. I'm just going to accept it in a peaceful, blissful, happy, joyful place. Okay. You know, you want a monogamous relationship? Okay. Okay, I accept it. It's fine. I don't need to hate. I don't need to be angry. It's okay. It's okay. And just stay in that place of serenity and peace and bliss and joy and divinity, just smiling and happy. They come in, they come out, doesn't matter. It's all good. So someone said there was a question. So let's see if there's any questions, and then if there are any more things, we can go into detail. But I want you to get to a place eventually. So Big Money Castaway, I just asked a question, but Big Money Castaway, I cannot see your question. So please ask again. All I have is good morning, India, from India, and then you joined, and then there's no question. I'm in your questions on your Instagram box. I see. Sorry, I cannot access that. So please write your question in the comment on this live. So you will eventually tire yourself, exhaust yourself out from all your toxicity and pain and anger, which is actually your karma and your past life pain and anger and your ancestry, that your twin flame is rinsing out of you, bleeding out of you, purging out of you, bringing it out, poking it where it's already there. They're not your enemy, they are you. And you are not your own enemy. You are helping you in a different way, going to the pain pot spots to bring out whatever's there, to let it out. So Lacey Luna says, how do you know the twin flame was real or only in your head due to your own issues? Good question. And it doesn't matter if it is real or not real, because you are where you are, it is what it is, and you've come to a place of ascension. Whatever got you there, it's okay. Essentially, the twin flame journey is the carrot and the stick to be able to get you to ascend. The purpose is for you to awaken, and it's done through a romance/painful way. And it's you doing it to you in the simulation of the matrix to wake up. Because that's the way. Romance is one of the deepest ways to really get someone to heal and rise and wake up. Now, many people are not on the twin flame journey. They are in limerence, karmic, toxic situations, and they jumped on the twin flame bandwagon because they thought it was kind of cool, or they wanted to label it as that. And it is labeled as this very beautiful experience, which sometimes it can be if your DM or DF is more healed, but oftentimes it's not, okay? So you will know it's a twin flame journey once you have completely tired yourself out and it's still there. With a crush or a calm, okay, so with a crush, eventually you get over and move on. So sometimes I have people write in the comments or message me saying, I had a twin flame, I moved on, I got married, I don't think about him, blah, 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 blah. Or I'm dating and he's not in my mind. Not a twin flame. That was a crush. Oh, he's a narcissist, I moved on, or, all these problems, blah, blah, blah. So a narcissist will come in and out, in and out, in and out, take from you and then go away. And sometimes the DM can do that, but often they run to just save you because they think they're not good enough. But with a twin flame, it's unavoidable. The signs, the synchronicities, the dreams, the kundalini, the higher self visitations, the spirit babies, the numbers. As you try to go away, you keep seeing their name or you keep having memories of them. It's also divine love. So you are kissed by God. You're touched by God. You are 10 years younger. You ascend. You become very wealthy. You become very successful. Your life does not stay shit. You don't stay in the dumps. You become the best version. Twin flames will do 10 times more than a regular person in their lifetime. 10 times more, if not more than that, because it pushes you to be your best version. Other signs that you're on the twin flame journey is no matter how much you try to get over them or remove them or cut them, they don't go away. And no matter how much you hate them, you forgive them and you fall deeper into love with yourself and you just become a divine being on earth. Your light gets more and more and you are given the royal treatment everywhere. So if you're not having those kind of things happen to you, you're not on the twin flame journey. Okay. Righty-ho. That's the next question. Hope Haviland. Do you think plant medicines have helped you on this path? Yes. Sorry if this is redundant as I enter the live. No, it's fine. I didn't answer this question. Sue, I believe so. Before I met my twin, like some people say, oh, I had my awakening when I met my twin and this and that and blah, 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 blah. I feel like I was awakened when I came out of the womb and I've done a lot of work all my life. I had my Akashic records done and in there I was told I started this life in very negative vibration and I've done so much inner work to be able to get it to positive karma. The plant medicine, it's not necessary, but it can be a quick catapult also. Can be. I think what helped me the most is my Abraham Hicks cruises that I go on, 2 or 3 a year, usually 3 a year I go on, don't I? And I go to the workshops. They have really helped me to get into alignment. But I've done a lot of stuff. Some DFs, message me, but I don't think they're DFs. I'm too lazy to do the inner work. I don't want to do the inner work. They like to stay in the obsession, right? Years and years later. It doesn't sound like it's twin flame to me because you cannot stay in that. You have to do the work. You get pushed to do the work. And if you don't do the work, you get triggered so bad that the work has happened. So those ones who are like, just lazy, I don't think they are twin flames, actually. Or they are just lazy. I'm not a lazy person. I did a lot of inner work. So specifically, I'd say before I did the twin flame journey, I had a lot of coaching, healing, and therapy, and then lots of stuff on manifestation and all these things, which have really helped me because I live an abundant life and everything I want comes to me. But after the twin flame, I had loads of healings with shamans and light codes, and I don't know. I've done so many things. I spent a lot of money. But then I say to you, you don't need to spend a lot of money. But sometimes you have to understand it. You have to go out to come back in to yourself. The plant medicine itself just reaffirmed what I already knew. So ayahuasca said to me, yes, that's your divine partner. Yes, you're going to have kids. Yes, you're going to marry them. Yes, everything's going to be fine. So everything I knew. The first time I met my twin flame, I knew we were getting married and having kids. I saw the kids. And then doing the bubble phase, and even afterwards, see the spirit babies, and understood everything. And then I saw a palm reader who said to me, I have one of the luckiest hands he's ever seen, only 5% of the population, and I'm going to be known in my field, and blah, 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 and that my twin is my partner, and I'm going to have 2 kids with him, and he affirmed that. Then psychics affirmed that. Loads of people affirmed that. I had regression done. I met Jehovah. I didn't know who that was. I met my twin. It all confirmed it. So ayahuasca said, yes, is your divine partner, but he's not ready yet. And we want you to date others. It's fine. And you deserve that. And the tobacco said the same as well. And the tobacco was really interesting. When we drank it, it was telling me, what kind of person do you want? What does he want to look like? And we went through all that. And that was good because it says you can have everything you want. And then the San Pedro, which is the cactus, was saying to me, stop being silly and petty. That's what I've been healing, Stop being silly. It's like a married couple going into a ceremony and you get a blessing. And the blessing was stop arguing and get on with it. That took me a few months or weeks to get to that place, which I have now. And I'm doing some Bufo, Iboga, and Cambo in Tulum next week on the 23rd. It's going to be very intense. With the Bufo, I will see my twin and source. And with the Iboga, I will clear a lot of my stuff from past lifetimes and everything, so the mirror is shiny and clean. The plant medicine just reaffirms what you already know, and it is a very deep connection to that. It's very challenging, painful, and horrific at times. It's not easy, plant medicine. It's going to your death, but it helps you to face your fears. And as a twin flame, you are willing to do what it takes. Those lazy DFs who do no work at all, I don't think you're DFs. Because the DF is forced to do the work and to face death itself. But also, I'm a Scorpio. I'm quite intense, which you might notice from my videos and posts. But in that front, did the medicine help me? I've done cacao ceremony with my shaman in England. He tried to cut cords. He's like, I'm going to cut your cords. This man's out of your life. He's immature, blah, blah, blah. He couldn't do it. I said to him, you're not going to be able to. He didn't do it. And he's like, wow, I've never seen this. Each chakra is connected to him. Blah, 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 blah. I was like, yeah, that's what I told you. Cacao ceremony is really good. Rapé, Sananga, clearing stuff from birth. The medicine helps to kind of clear stuff or understand stuff, but you have to maintain it thereafter. But I do think after ayahuasca, my energy has gone even more shiny, and I do attract everything I want, including the high-level soulmates, constantly. I have met 5 high-level soulmates since ayahuasca. It's been 6 weeks or something. The Brazilian was 2 weeks, but everyone else has been a week each, So I've become like this magnet. So yes, it does help. If you want to do it, you can, but at your own peril. Okay, because it's hard. It's not easy, and you don't have to do it. Okay, but you must do work. Okay, I'm curious though. What if the DM never gets the booze under control? So I'm assuming your DF's got an alcohol problem. Is it still a twin flame journey? I cannot be with someone like that. Well, you don't have to be with anyone like that. So an addiction is an addiction mirrored. Physical addiction for them is a mental addiction for you, or some sort of addiction within you, worry, stress, or something, and you must deal with that. My twin flame had addictions too, but I healed it through self-love. I was overthinking and not trusting. So somewhere there's that. And you will notice they mirror you. Some of you say, he's not improving. Maybe you're not doing the work, or he's not your twin flame. Maybe you're giving too much energy. I mean, my twin flame was smoking weed all day long, taking drugs. It's all stopped. He was on a sex app all day long, all night long. That got deleted. He was taking nude pictures and videos every day. That stopped. He was selling pornography. That stopped. Everything stopped. All horrific things. None of it's nice, but all stopped. Isn't that a miracle? Or is that doing your work? Is that doing your inner work? So I don't buy the thing. I never thought the days would come when that man would stop doing that shit. And it came. It came. Let me tell you some stories. Okay. So I'll tell you 2 stories. I need to tell you about the Radha Krishna thing as well. So 3 stories. First story, let's go into it, is basically, I forgot what it was now, but okay. When I deleted the dating app, he deleted it 3 months later. I was only on it to spy on him, but he deleted it. Second story, when I came back from Hawaii cruise, I said out aloud in my bedroom, do what you want. If you want to do pornography, do it. I don't really care. Do whatever you want. The second I said that, he deleted the most explicit pornography because I stopped controlling it. I accepted it and I gave permission to it and I let it be. And he stopped. And the third story is Radha Krishna. So Hindu, I'm not Hindu. I'm a Sikh, well, born a Sikh, but I'm spiritual. But Hinduism is beautiful, okay? And all the gods and goddesses were born with their other half, their twin flame, Shiva Shakti, and you hear the stories about them and their reincarnations, about how Parvati basically sacrificed herself, in a sense, to be born as a mortal human to get rid of evil, and then accumulated karma, and thus had to be born in many lifetimes before she could unite with Shiva again, and did a lot of inner work. With Radha and Krishna, the story is this. They are twin flames, one soul in 2 bodies. And basically, Radha was already proposed to be with another person by her father, so that had to be fulfilled, and Krishna did not want to get involved in that, and they fell in love because they're twin flames. And she was very sad about this, but he said, what is marriage? What is a 3D relationship when we are already one? There is no need. So sometimes we are crying over the 3D, the marriage, the paper, the commitment, all those things, because they are not doing that, or they're with someone else, or you're with someone else. But when you realize the truth of the matter, divine love, the truth is you are one, not separate anyway. And it's okay. You give freedom. Okay, I've been working with MDMA. Yeah, some people work with that those things as well, and it does work for them. Okay, which has been very insightful. Yeah, I met some people doing MDMA, which is like ecstasy, right? But a purer form. But there's also another thing, ketamine. Some people do ketamine. There we go. And it brings up past lives and ancestral trauma. Now I'm working with Cambo to purge anything negative. There you go. I also did mushrooms. I really like that. It opened my mind to think outside of my restrictions. So you can, right. It's all accepting this energy and surrendering, accepting that it's divine energy. Yes. And you know what? Some of you are really triggered, or some of you have been blocked in certain directions. Maybe emotionally, physically, sexually blocked. So your twin flame will poke at that until you integrate it and heal it, because all aspects of you are divine, including your sexuality, including your emotions, including your money, family, friends. All those things are part of the parcel of acceptance and integration. Okay, I know my counterpart is real divine path, but the pain of separation is so hard to integrate, vacillating between loving them and surrendering. So again, it's from the 3D, right? And if you see the 40,000 viewpoint, you realize you already won. My twin flame and me have not spoken in 2 years properly. And anytime I download something, same moment he posts that picture on social media. So I realized we were from Mintaka, we were mermaids, and he's not spiritual at all, posted a picture of a mermaid. How crazy is that? The same second. So you always won. So, and also, it's a bit egotistical or kind of narcissistic, or you want to say, what do you want to call it, to expect they need to be with me. You don't own anything or anyone in the 3D, especially. You don't own anyone, and they don't owe you nothing. They don't owe you shit. Nothing. So why are you expecting, right? So that video I posted a few days ago where the little girl is holding onto the cat and suffocating the cat with the chasing, and the cat just doesn't like it. Because if you try to control and cage and imprison someone and say, you belong with me and you should be with me and why are you with other people and blah, blah, blah. Sorry, I went to the beach and I haven't had a shower. All that kind of stuff is your toxicity. No one owes you nothing. You're born alone and you die alone. Yes, when you go into the non-physical, you are connected with all, and your twin flame's there. But they have the right to do what they want. They also are a human being. They want to explore. They need to learn. They might make mistakes. That's their choice and their right to do so. You don't have any right over them. Just because you are one soul, but your own soul doesn't have, if your own soul wants to experience separation or do things they want to do, you gotta let them. It's like basically having friends or siblings or colleagues at work. Sometimes you go to the different, it's lunchtime. One may go and get a burger and the other one might get a wrap or a salad, and you just pop into different places to get your lunch, and that's okay. You cannot say, oh, listen, you gotta have a salad, I'm having a salad, and force it down their neck. It's not love, is it? It's not love. It's the 3D version of love. It's the jealousy and codependency and all that shit. But when you really let go and allow and say, get to that place. Okay, I'll tell you some more stories. Today's story time. A few months ago, someone told me that my twin flame had a boyfriend, and I nearly died. I was like, who the fuck is this person? Because I don't see no pictures. Normally my twin loves to show and parade everything. Who is it? Because he's not been on dating apps for over a year. Then I realized that he's just saying that so that people stop bothering him. He doesn't want it because I was celibate for pretty much 2 years, and so he'd mirror that. And then recently someone I met who knows him said the same thing, and I didn't care. And I actually was very happy if he did have. I know he doesn't, because I was like, live your life and be free, because I'm living my life and being free, and whatever is destined and fated and kismet will happen. You got to accept it as it's going to be. It's not in my control. Higher self in control. If you just joined, you need to watch from the beginning to understand this. But basically, I was like really happy if he did have someone, or he didn't have someone. That's his choice, right? I don't think he wants to be with anyone else anyway, because it's not the same, and that's okay to let them. But you really know you have healed or let go or surrendered or accepted when you don't really care. You don't care what they do, who they do it with, what they're doing online, because you know you already won, and it's part of the journey. It's not a regular relationship. It's not the way people will say it's very toxic, but it is literally you and you on earth saying, you know what, dude, You do what you got to do, and I'm going to do what I got to do. We've got loads of stuff to heal and resolve and let go from karma and past lives and baggage and ancestry. You're going to do it your way. I'm going to do it my way. You're going to do it by fumbling and tumbling and falling down in the 3D world. We meet, it ignites us, it connects us, and the gong is struck, and that's the way it has to happen. And I'm going to do it emotionally and in a way or whatever, how am I going to do it? It's fine. But just because you meet the way it is, and you must realize and accept this, you meet, the gong is struck, the cups must be emptied before you get together. And I've talked about emptying the cup. So they have to empty their cup of all their karma, ancestry, and toxicity, and you've got to do the same. All your anger, the last few months when I was very angry and pissed off, has to all be drained out of you, bled out of you. So that's what they're doing. And it has to be done. So you just say, many months ago, I did a live. I'm like, you do what you got to do, babe. You get it out. You should actually be happy for them. Like, get it out as quick as you can and fast as you can. Just do all the shit you got to do. Let it be, right? Helps you too. Okay. Doing everything for this energy, and again, this energy gives us back. And also, don't do things for them. Do things for yourself. It's not the twin flame journey. It's your journey, your life. And don't do things because you think they're going to give you back. Eventually, it will all work out, but start living for you. I see all these twin flame things online and the moon update and this update. I don't do any of that, really. And the reason being is because I don't believe in all that nonsense. So you have some people saying things like, oh, if you sleep with other people, you take their energy. You have to do like 50 baths in holy water and cleanses or whatever the hell they talk about. I think it's all a lot of nonsense, because after I have slept with people or been with high-level soulmates, I feel more energized, more invigorated, more enlightened, more forgiving, more understanding, more connected to my twin flame, and more myself. I'm learning from it. I'm not playing into this game of fear and negativity. And Abraham Hicks, if you listen to them, they always talk about this as well. It's all about your intention, your vibration, and how you see it. If you think doing this is going to do this, then yeah, sure. If you think that the eclipse or the full moon or whatever is going to whoop your ass, it will. I don't focus on those things, and rarely I do get affected by it, but generally no, I don't. And I don't think you should either. I literally am trying to break you out of all these damn boxes, because all of these coaches and all of these things I see online is operating from 3D ego mind. And I have people say to me, if you do that, Manny, they're going to do that, and try to school me. And I'm like, that's your ego perspective trying to teach me. Go beyond your judgment and restricted mindset, your spiritual ego, and see the cosmos and the universe and the totality and the oneness of all. Some of you have huge issues with money and sex. Get over it. Some of you have huge issues with labels, and you're just too spiritually invested. And I had a dream, and it was me and my twin flame, and we were talking, having a great time. We have a great relationship in the 3D world, in the 5D world. And then all of a sudden I started talking about spiritual stuff, and he shut up and he shut off. And I was like, and he was like, I'm not interested in that. They're not interested in the because it comes from the mind. They know it's bullshit. They're actually very evolved. And so then I stopped talking about the spiritual stuff, and then it was back to just regular fun. Have fun, for fuck's sakes. But people have fun. Enjoy your life. Go out. Do things for you. Meet friends. If you want to have sex, have sex. If you don't want to do that and you want to make friends, or you want to go traveling, have dinner, you want to play with animals, with kids, do what you got to do for you and live your life. Don't waste lifetimes or decades stressing and depressing about this situation. Live, for God's sake. Live. You're here to enjoy life. Stop getting caught up in these posts, I believe, which are to do with, I don't know, like you have to do 1,000 yoga poses to cleanse your whatever and whatever you got to do. I just don't think that. I think you just got to be in the present. You got to be happy, and you got to focus on you and enjoy. Do what you want to do and be in a joyful state and blissful state and peaceful, and you're sorted. And if you want to learn how to get to that place, drum roll, I have a new course that I actually filmed before I came out in September. It took a while for my internet web designer to get it all sorted. But the Twin Flame Inner Union course is available on my website right now, and it's normally £333, but it's 111 for a month. And in there, I just teach about how you can go beyond all the labels and get to a place of peace and love within and just live your life. And then you will see the DM does change, they get better, and things will work out as they're meant to. But remember, your soul has chosen already whether you're going to be in union or not. I meet some twin flames and they say to me, union's not in this lifetime. They're probably aware and it's not going to happen. But don't even say that from ego. Don't even say union's going to happen, union's not going to happen. You don't know. What's going to happen is going to happen. It's already decided. Just stay in the place of peace and love and bliss and enjoy your life. I know that's some of you might be triggered by this, that I'm kind of discounting a lot of the nonsense out there. I believe is nonsense. You may not believe it. Some people say, oh, you must be vegetarian, or you must do this, you must do that. Kill me now. Put me in a prison now. Lock me up in this little balcony and lock away the key. I won't do nothing. I'm here to live. I'm here to enjoy. I'm here to do what is right for me. Don't be restricted. Your twin flame's here to unlock you, open you out of these restrictions and labels and boxes that you put yourself in, where you're people-pleasing, where you're sacrificing, where you're not accepting your sexuality, where you're not accepting your abundance. They're here to unlock you to freedom and liberation. Liberation is out of all of these things. The eclipses, the moon cycles, the 11/11s, the 12/12s, and all these portals and things. If you give energy to it, yes, but you are your own portal, your own energy, your divine system. You are everything. Anyway, okay. I no longer question. I'm on the journey next month to help me navigate and surrender to this connection. Well, I no longer question that I'm on a journey next month to help me navigate and surrender to this connection. Any advice? It doesn't make sense, your question. I no longer question that I am on a journey. Which journey? I don't know. Next month to help me navigate and surrender to this connection. Doesn't make sense. Ask it again with proper sentence, please. I've had a very hard time dating anyone else, although I've tried multiple times. So maybe you're not ready for it. Maybe you're pushing it. Maybe you're doing it from a place of lack. Maybe you're holding on to a twin flame. And I remember my shaman in Bolivia, she said, you have reserved that place for that man, and he don't deserve it yet. And any man that comes near you can feel it. So therefore they bounce, or you don't allow that space. That space needs to be open and vacated. It needs to be inviting, and you need to stop. I said before, twin flame is Disneyland. You don't go to Disneyland every day. Eventually it will all balance out. And when you're with your twin flame, it is peace and calm. No triggering nonsense, right? It's like you sitting on a mountain, they're on the mountain, and you're silent. I posted something recently. True love is just silence. There's no need for words. It's just a place of bliss and peace. You're not going to be having intellectualized conversations about spirituality all the time with them. Maybe not always or ever, right? It is just a state of just acceptance. You exhaust yourself out. So once you get to that place of just, it's okay and you deserve, you do open yourself to dating other people and you don't feel guilty. I used to feel guilty before. I don't feel no guilt. I don't think about my twin. I have a great time. It's possible. If I can do it, you can do it. It's just your mindset. It's all just nonsense people are putting into your brain. And it keeps you in the madness of the monkeyness. I can't date others. I'm in prison now, blah, blah, blah. Just, it's okay. It's okay. You can if you want. It's possible. Thank you for being so vulnerable and open with your story. I appreciate that. I have to continue to work and go deep. I believe all you got to do is be in the now, in a place of peace and love, and enjoy life. Have fun. I think we're making it too serious and we're making too much of everything. Is it possible to date another? I can't imagine. This connection is so deep. Oh my God. I've had 5 high-level soulmates in the last 6 weeks. It's been great. It's been really good. And I learned a lot from it. And these are all past life connections. And it's okay. I'm meeting them very rapidly. So, like I've said, you're not going to have Disneyland every day. But that doesn't mean, do you have a Michelin star meal every day? Or do you sometimes go to McDonald's? Or Subway or KFC. That's what it's like. Not everything's going to be "Ah," and a godly experience. Not always. My high-level soulmates have been very amazing. Opening doors, closing doors, making breakfast, making dinner, taking care of me. I get the royal treatment. You deserve the princess treatment. Very vulnerable, very caring, very up-leveled men. Very kind, generous, pure people. I've never met such pure people in my life. Very, very good energy. You deserve it. Why not? Why can you not enjoy and see the divinity in everything? Can you not see the divinity in a child, in an animal, in a person? You definitely see it in your twin flame, but you should be now at a stage where you can see divine in everything, in the smallest leaf, in the butterflies, in the birds, in the trees, in the wind, in the sun. Divinity is around you, surrounding you, in you, outside of you. You can see divine in divine men. Would you rather wait or get treated like crap by someone who's not healed? Or would you rather utilize that time now to further nourish yourself with self-love by dating someone who is going to mirror that for you? It's up to you. Alrighty. Blah, 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 blah. I'm doing a Cyberlin journey next month. Any advice? So who are you doing it with? Hopefully you're doing it with a shaman. You're not doing it as a party drug on the beach. And a shaman that's going to be there clearing your energy throughout the whole session. One-to-one is really good to do it with, because things come up and it's good for it to be cleared. Relax with psilocybin. I don't know how you say it. Psilocybin. It's mushrooms, magic mushrooms. Magic mushrooms are very intelligent. If you want them to stop, they stop. They won't continue. There's someone I knew who basically the mushrooms started working, and then something happened to their family member, and the mushrooms knew, so they stopped the trip straight away. And they were allowed to be sober, to go to the hospital to give blood transfusion. You can also buy trip stoppers off Amazon or Google or whatever. Trip stoppers, you take the tablet and it stops your trip in case you need. But go with someone who's very trained. And what it does is it opens your mind to see different perspectives. It's quite nice. It's like you take the mushrooms and it's like, don't take too much for the first time. And it's like chilies that are just dancing around and you feel like dancing, and it's really beautiful. How do you attract a high-level soulmate without plant medicine? So I didn't say necessarily that plant medicine allowed that to come in, because I've mentioned before, in the 2 years I was before the plant medicine, I did meet 1, 2, 3 high-level soulmates then as well. But these are even better. They're just so amazing. Like the most amazing people I've ever met, men I've ever met in my life. Can't believe they exist on the earth. So you eventually ascend as a DF through self-love and surrender and accept and become enlightened, liberated. I tasted that in January, February, March, where if you remember my live, if you followed me, I was at a stage of almost dying. I was going to transition into the non-physical because I was going to manifest death, because it was so beautiful. I was one with everything. But you'll get to a place of total self-love where you are just a magnet for divinity and people come to you. Like attracts like. But also you come to a place where you open yourself to receiving the divine. Ask God or the universe, I am ready to date divine men. Bring them over. So I just have to say it now, and it happens. So there you go. I'd love to find a shaman near me to work with, but I'm unsure how to go about that. Any insight? So someone on TikTok, who I became friends with, recommended my shaman in the UK. I had a shaman many years ago that I found off the internet, and then I've worked with Regida shaman. Her prices are very high, if you've got the money. And then my shaman in Bolivia was through my UK shaman. So recommendations. So I don't know where you live, Lacey. If you live in Birmingham, UK, I can recommend one. He's very good. I think we're coming towards the end of the live. Okay, good advice, Manny. I'm holding that space. Just enjoy, and I'm exhausted. Be exhausted, nourish yourself, you know. I feel all the work you've been doing has opened you up well to meet these high-level soulmates. Good work. Yes, It was not lazy. I have mentioned before, sometimes I'd spend 10 hours a day just doing inner work, which was self-love. I'd spend the weekends. Because for me, Saturday was a very triggering time because after lunchtime on a Saturday, my twin used to do naked photos on Twitter. Always, it used to be every Saturday, and I knew it was going to happen. So Saturdays was a whole day of meditation. And then, yeah, Sundays we used to be other things happening. So I was very accustomed to spending, and I was doing the videos as well, and everything I was doing. I'm working a full-time job, but I used to spend a lot of time doing inner work, only getting up to pee or drink water or eat something quickly, but otherwise, sometimes 10 to 12 hours a day of just doing inner work. Laying down, I still lay down on my bed, I still like to do that. Put on some good Abraham Hicks or some high-level spiritual, like self-love stuff. Focus on my inner child, go within and just love myself where the triggers were. That was something I did. But then also I paid loads of people. I had a coach for a year to do inner work. Some of you are like, so I'm so poor, I'm so broke, that's so boring record. I'm sorry, but get to the place where you are abundant so you can receive the what you deserve. Because sometimes people are like to me, oh, I can't afford to have a session. Work on that. But you don't need to. It helps you though. I tell you, having a coach really helped to go through all the blind spots I had. How do you deal with the DM blocking you? My DM blocked me on WhatsApp. It was very painful. I told him, I'm the one, I know everything about you. It's kind of scary. And I was looking over my old videos today when I was walking on the beach, and I thought, oh, Manny, you were scary. I was wearing my shawl, sitting on the floor, being quite intense. And for a scaredy cat who's not spiritual, it can be a lot. That's why they block. Especially if you go past the boundaries and stuff and you keep harassing and hounding, and it's triggering for them. So, yeah, when he blocked me, I felt like so rejected. I never thought my twin would block me because despite all the madness, the love is very strong and deep, very pure, respectful. But it was before he went to Marrakesh with his ex because the ex was paying for everything and he was having sex with the ex, I think, to pay, you've paid for my holiday, so let me have sex with you, blah, blah, blah. It was horrific. But then you get to a place where you don't care. You keep working with inner love, inner self-love, and you realize that they are you, you are them, you can never be blocked, and so what? And they have to deal with what they do to you. I was running a little bit the last few weeks or months, and I was like, I'm not going to... I'll tell you, the signs increase and everything increases, doesn't it? So when they do things like that to you, it's a blessing. It's a trigger for you to heal, and you do the inner work, but also they will get the consequences of blocking. So how do you deal with the DM blocking you? You have to accept, love yourself. It's not the end. They will unblock, it will return. I mean, my twin, after 2 years, just before I went to ayahuasca, the day I went to ayahuasca, it was his birthday, so I said, happy birthday. And he said, thank you. I couldn't believe it. But obviously it's crumbs, but it's a good step, but it's crumbs, right? It's a step. Sometimes they won't come with everything. They'll just have a little taste to see how you are. So I think with that, we're going to end to say, accept the journey, accept your fate, your destiny, that your soul has decided, which you will not know. You will not know whether union or not union. You won't know. And you can say, I'm going to have union, I'm going to do this. You don't know. So what you do know is to sit in peace and bliss and follow your intuition. What feels right now? Good. To date someone, to heal, to be single, do that. Follow your joy. Bashar, as channeled by Daryl Anker, says, when you follow your highest excitement, which is your joy, it unlocks all the tools of the universe to fully support you. So all the abundance and all the things you need, you've got to follow your joy. And I sang for you. Do you remember I sang a song? I was like, follow your joy, follow your joy. When I was like doing the purpose section of the Twin Flame journey, is follow your joy and what feels good to you. And then you will be on the path. You don't know how the path's going to be. You don't know. Your ego may think it's going to be, and you try to judge others and yourself. No. Follow your joy, accept. And if you want to learn more about how to get into inner union and how to accept, at the moment, I've launched my new Twin Flame course, which is on my website, which is manjindersidhu.co.uk. Link is in the bio. And it's 111. 111. £111. Normally it's 333. And it's a full course. And there's a lot of, inside the course, there's a lot of healings, inner work. I do a lot of different techniques, hypnosis, timeline therapy, light codes, to be able to clear your blocks. So you should do that. But anyway, it was lovely talking to you. My trip is going to end soon. I'm back on the 2nd of January. My next stop tomorrow is Tulum, where I will be for 2-3 weeks. And I'm doing a plant medicine retreat, very deep, intense one. And we'll see what insights come out from after that. But what I do know is this: you deserve to be happy and you deserve to be free. Accept the twin is there. Accept that whatever the fate and destiny will be, whether union or not union. And just go with the flow. And whatever comes up, don't resist it, don't reject it, don't come from your ego if you can. Initially, you might have to purge, and if you've got anger and all the pain, do it. More so do it by yourself if you can, rather than attacking your DM, because then they will block or run again. And that's when you get the weaving. Because they don't want to be schooled by you. They'll learn it themselves. They already feel insecure. And just allow what's going to happen. If they come and sit next to you, let it be. Don't be so angry, annoyed with it. Just let it be. So take care. See you later. Bye.